Shalom Israel, Shalom. This the brother Kutazi Hawad back at it with another lesson. Father will, this be quick, fast, straight to the point. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to my teachers, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to you brothers out there laboring in this truth and faith and sincerity. Shalom to you families out there watching, waiting, praying on Yahweh Shai's second return. Peace and blessings to the house of David, the hopeful elect. All right, man. So the spirit was on me to go into a lesson real quick, man. A quick in the news. All right, it's a lot going on. It is a lot going on, man. Let's start here. All right. So this article was posted a few hours ago. It reads, Putin will send thousands of crazy soldiers and grapists to attack Europe if war with Ukraine ends, a NATO diplomat warns. Vladimir Putin is hell-bent on flooding Europe with dangerous criminals and serial rapists if a Ukrainian ceasefire is signed, a top foreign minister has warned. Russia's despot could deploy hundreds of thousands of former soldiers and evil convicts across the continent to wreak havoc through a hybrid war. Now, just think about something like that happening, man. Think about that. You know, the release of many murderous, grape convicted convicts wreaking havoc, you know, evil spirits on them. And those evil spirits are sent out by the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You know? And that's just talking about Europe. Now, what about Babylon, right? Here in Babylon, so-called America, you know, where people every day is just going about their daily lives unaffected by shit like that, you know? Unaffected by the thought of many convicts getting out of those jails, out of those prisons, you know, and evil spirits running rampant on Babylon, you know? Like we tell y'all all the time, man, that time is coming, you know? When Jacob's trouble hit, you know, and power grids go down and shit like this, man, well, a lot of them prisons, man, with them electronic gates and doors and shit, man, them cats is gonna be coming out of there, man. You know, the cat is out of the bag, you know. And then you also gonna have the prison guards and COs, right? Correctional officers and shit. Like I mentioned before, they not gonna stand there and stay there guarding them fucking prisons and those prisoners, etc. And the warden, the staff, all these different men, they not about to stay there when Jacob's trouble hit. Everybody is gonna be trying to get to their families, man, and get home. Firefighters are not sitting in no fucking fire station the day that all hell breaks loose and shit hit the fan. Paramedics are not gonna be riding around in no fucking ambulances. 911 operators are not gonna be picking up no calls. Police officers are gonna be trying to get speed home to their families. Bus drivers are gonna be stopping mid-route, or if anything, swing the damn bus back to where their car is at and try to hightail it up out of there to get to their family, man. Because when all hell break loose, this is what's gonna be happening. You know, when all hell break loose, it's gonna be a lot of evil spirits running rampant. All right. It's gonna be a whole lot of bloodshed in the middle of the street. You know, a whole lot of grape and robbing, you know, and kidnapping. All right. You're gonna have cats coming in the spirit of, you know, Michael Myers and Freddy and Jason, you know, and Ghostface from Scream and any other damn horror movie you could think of. They're gonna be coming in that spirit, man. You know? And like I said, all these different people that work all these different jobs, man, nobody is about to still be working. All right. So that's just something to think about, man. You know, you got to spiritually prepare yourself for this, mentally and spiritually prepare yourself for this. Continuously call on Yahweh Shem Yahushai, begging for mercy and forgiveness, repenting, all right? Fast away the evil spirits, to loose the bands of wickedness, as the scriptures say, right? Because you want to be covered in that time, man. In that time where all of those evil spirits is running rampant in Babylon, you know, you don't want to get caught up in that, man. You know? And look at this. Vlad will likely weaponize his troops and send them into Europe once the war in Ukraine is over. You see that? Like they say, bro, they saying when the war is over and the peace treaty is signed, this nigga Vladimir Putin is talking about weaponizing his troops and convicts, you know, to cause more destruction. Officials are said to be mulling over a blanket travel ban for all former Kremlin troops if the long negotiated peace deal can be signed between Moscow and Kyiv. If not, ex-prisoners and rapists would be among the troops sent by Vladimir to continue to disrupt its neighbors. Putin wants to weaponize these crazy men in his country to refocus his aggression if he can't continue his massacre in Ukraine. See? And so I'm pointing this out to say this is going to be coming to Babylon. You know, this is what's coming to Babylon during Jacob's trouble. And when all hell break loose, you know? And you got spirits, you know, running rampant and what have you. All right. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 78 and verse 49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them. You see? So angels are not just all good and, you know, protect us and what have you, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushai sends evil angels as well. You know, and what the fuck you think an evil angel is sent to do? You know? Exactly in its name, evil angel. You know? This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse Salakia. It's not 25. It's Salakia. Wait. The book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39 and verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So, during Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7, there are going to be a lot of these evil spirits running around, laying sore strokes on people. All right. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force. And so, in that time of destruction, you know, like I said, man, it's going to get real greasy out here, you know. So you got to stay in the spirit. You got to stay fired up. You know, you got to stay on fire for Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Okay. Continue to beg for mercy and forgiveness and rehearse the righteous acts to the best of your ability, because at the end of the day, Yahweh Shem Yahushua will have mercy on whom he choose, as the scriptures say, you know. And with all humbleness and humility, we pray that we be of the hopeful elect and that Yahweh Shem Yahushua will cover us, all right? Because otherwise, you know, if you predestined to not be of the hopeful elect, man, you gonna go through it. I'm talking about you getting put through a fucking blender, all right? And we pray that we are counted worthy to avoid that judgment, all right? Yeah, I was gonna read up there, but I might just get the point. Yeah, I might just get the point. This is Luke 21:36. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. The Son of Man being Yahweh Shai. All right. Counted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, right? Which is, you know, we bring out the prophecy written in Luke 21 all the time. All right, when you shall hear of wars and commotions, all right, nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, earthquakes shall be in diverse places, famines, pestilences, fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven, right? All these different things are prophetic and have to take place, right? But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and in the prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. You know, which is why this article was stupid. Okay, this one. Oakland Mayor Barbara Lee signs historic orders to create ice-free zones. So basically, okay, we are not going to allow our community to be used by the federal government. We are not going to allow chaos here in Oakland, as if chaos don't already take place. We are not going to take the debate here in Oakland. But the whole thing is, man, the government can do whatever the fuck they want to do. So her signing this don't mean shit. You know, the scriptures say they're gonna be delivering you up to prisons and etc. Man, so whether it's ICE agents or people, you know, impersonating ICE agents, like, it don't really matter at the end of the day, because, you know, when all hell break loose, you know, it's free game, basically. You know, when think about the movie The Purge or the Book of Eli with Denzel Washington. You know, when America is in that state, you know, none of this ICE free zone shit, National Guard free zone shit, none of that shit is gonna matter. You know, there is no, oh, I'm safe inside this circle, I'm safe inside this build. No, you know what I mean? The only way for you to be safe is if Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai is covering you. And as a man of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, and for the women and the children, it is for y'all to be under a man of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. You know? Iran's supreme leader warns of regional war in Middle East if the United States attacks. Iran's supreme leader warned that any attack on the country by the U.S. will spark a regional war in the Middle East, following President Trump's threats to intervene militarily in response to the Islamic Republic's crackdown on recent nationwide protests. So basically, if the United States intervenes in what Iran has going on, then Iran is saying that there will be a regional war. So, you know, these are things to keep in mind, man. All these rumors of war that we've talked about, constantly bringing those scriptures out from the book of Matthew, the book of Mark, and the book of Luke. All right, and Revelation 11 as well. Right. Behold, the second woe is past, and the third woe come quickly. The third woe being World War III, the second woe being World War II. All right, you know. Yeah, it's getting crazy, man. It's getting crazy. All right. Just wanted to bring that out to y'all real quick, man. Father Will, it was edifying and uplifting for the hopeful elect to know that we're getting closer and closer to the end. All right, day by day. And if you also look, like I did a video, I did a video some months back, detailing how, time feel like it's going faster because prophecy's not tarrying, as the scriptures say, right? Tarry meaning to wait. Okay. If you just look, like today's Sunday right now, like watch how fast the day goes by, and then watch how fast the next, like from Monday to Friday, watch how fast that goes by. It's going by faster than it's ever felt before. All right. But that's because we're getting closer to the end and things have to get sped up for the sake of prophecy. All right. So with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.